Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decision for your application. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have the standalone residential application. And so basically what we have here is we have three different areas. We have a bar stool seating height over here. We have a dining space over here. And then we have a cook prep area over here. We do have a sliding door that goes left to right. And there are 4 hanging lights as well as a fan in the center of the structure itself. Let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. Overall dimensions I have here is basically 19 feet by 24 and a half feet. And that goes to the outside edge of each one of these posts. And then I have a height of approximately 10 foot here. I have this at about 12 inches tall, and then also 13, 11, 13, 12 to the top of the ridge line here. So I think that's about it, and let's go ahead and look at what we can do. So first of all, let's just talk about this space out here. This is outside of the patio essentially. Now this structure might come out a little bit further, but being that it's on the outside edge, there's no way to place a heater inside and heat up the outside edge. So the bar area, the only thing we can really come up with is placing a heater up above the seating space, and I just centered it basically centered it within the bar countertop area here. And then also what I did was, this is a C4024. You could also use a 3024. It's a single element, and what I had to do is I had to make sure that the bottom edge of the heater is at the same elevation as the bottom edge of the beam itself. And then I'm using the extended brackets. So the OEM brackets that come with the heater are for a 6-inch clearance, but I need 6 additional inches because of the angle I'm placing this heater straight down. You may have to adjust the bracket here somehow, so that this you might have to drill a new hole or something of that nature so that it fits properly. But the extended bracket is what you would need, and that'll give you that 6 inches of clearance that you need between the heater and the support beam going across here. So let's see if there's anything else about that. I think that's about it. As far as the footprint of heat, and this is why I mentioned possibly 4,000 or 3,000, because you're sitting a little bit higher. You're closer to the element, which is more intense than the normal seating area. But at 10 feet off the ground, I think a 4,000 would probably be proper for this application. But if you're one that doesn't like a whole lot of heat, then you might want to use a 3,000 watt unit. But in any case, you can see here that we're getting a good coverage. Now you can change the angle slightly, but you want to make sure that you're getting the ray down here, as opposed to if you went with the standard bracket, you'd have to go with a 30-degree tilt. The 30-degree tilt's not going to get you in the bar area here at all. So that's why I'm using this extended bracket and the 4,000 watt unit. So all right, so let's go ahead and look at the other options now. What I was looking at before, I always place some heaters around just to see what the coverage would look like. And what I did here is basically I took 2 6,000 watt units, and with the fan and the lights, I have those I have issues with regards to clearances. So just kind of placed them in the best footprint of heat first of all. So let's just look at that first of all. You can see here that we're getting a good coverage. We're not quite covering this outside chair here because I centered the heaters within the patio, and I only did that because I think visually it looks better to center the heaters. But you can see here we got good coverage for the dining space here. Maybe this chair, table isn't as long as I have here. I got for 8 persons, and yeah, we're not quite hitting this place right here. So you can see that we're hitting a little bit over here, but I've offset the table as far as its position, so there's a walkway over here, etc. But you could just use something like this where you're placing it on a chain, and attach that to the ceiling, bring your electrical down one of the chains. And then what I wanted to really show is the clearances below the heater is 18 inches out from the bottom of the elevation of the heater itself, and so you have to bring it below the fan blade itself. And then the clearance above the heater is 6 inches, and that's where I'm at, basically 6 inches over from the fan. And on this side here, it's not a problem because they're further away, the lights themselves. Yes, I could mount it over here, but I just wanted to kind of copy the same thing that I did over here. These are both at the same elevations, and you can see the coverage is really uniform. That's why I like this better. Now, one issue is that this is bar stool seating height, so it's more intense, and that person that's going to be sitting right over here is going to be more intense than anyone that's sitting over here. And you can obviously see that over here we're not getting really that much heat whatsoever. So this is really designed for the dining space here, for the best coverage of that. Now again, I don't think visually this looks the best, and just to take the rays off here and kind of get you an idea of what that would look like, that's kind of what it would look like if you're inside the home. You would see this appearance here, but it would be the best footprint for the dining space itself. All right, so let me go ahead and turn that one off, and then use a different option, which would be the third option, which would, I should say, the second option for the dining space, and then placing two 6,000 watt units, one centered in this span here, and then I have one centered over here. Now I tried placing it to the left a little bit, but we'll go ahead and look at that here in just a second. What I have is a 30-degree tilt, and what I just realized right now is that we need to have that clearance above the heater when you place a 6,000 watt unit on the patio, with a 30-degree tilt and ceiling above it, combustible material above it. We need 12 inches of clearance, so let's go ahead and get that 12 inches of clearance, and let's actually do 12. So that should be fine. You can see that we're just a little bit below the edge of the bottom of the edge of the patio, or the beam here. So if that's not 12 inches tall, then it might come down a little bit further, but definitely you need 12 inches of clearance above the heater when using a C model and mounting it on a vertical surface with a 30-degree tilt. So that's what it would look like. And this one here is I would probably match the other one, but there's no issue up above the heater itself. So now let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat with this. So here you can see that we're getting good coverage on the bar stool, as well as a pretty good coverage, again, this one chair here not being hit as well, but a really good coverage throughout here. Now if you're the one sitting over here, you're going to be a lot warmer because you're closer to the heater element itself than you would be over here. If you were here with both units on, you can see that we're getting two rays, so overlapping rays, and that's going to be able to warm the space up a little bit better. So this would be probably the hottest spot here in the patio, yeah, that would be sufficient for this space here. Now I could move this heater. I think I moved it about 5 feet 5 inches, something of that nature. So let's just see what that looks like here real quick, and you can see that we're getting more coverage over here, and we're actually covering that one seat over here. So that essentially is, if I cut this space here from left to right in half, and so this would be your halfway point, and then cut that in half, that's where the center of the heater would be. So that's a good coverage, but again, this is going to be warmer because we have two rays coming over and overlapping each other. So just bear that in mind. Now if we go back to this setting, you can see again that this is bar stool seating height. This heater is, it's 10 feet off the ground essentially, but this would be a warm spot for someone sitting in a bar stool seating area. Over here on the left, you're not getting that much intensity, but a 6,000 watt unit again would I would definitely consider using either a duplex switch and or a control system. A control system would give you that full controllability where you can turn it from 1% on to 100% on, and that would be a definite consideration, especially for this bar stool seating height area. All right, and then last we do have this kitchen area here, so let's go ahead and look at what that might look like. I would just probably place a 4,000 watt unit over here. Now there's a barbecue here, so I'm not quite sure, you know, how that would function within that barbecue. Maybe there's going to be a, you know, vent up here, so that might not even be possible, and you might have to put it on the back side of this ledge over here. So in any case, let's go ahead and I just basically centered it just like the other one here. So it's centered within the span here, and then 30-degree tilt. And again, we do need to make sure we have that 12 inches of clearance above the heater. So let's go ahead and get that. Hang on 1 second. We'll get that done here. And so that would be your proper clearance for this side here. And let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. And turn that off here. So the footprint of heat, you can see, would cover this kitchenette area fairly decent. Again, centered within that span. We could move it to the left a little bit to, you know, get more heat over here. But yeah, I think that would be pretty good. And then I just want to, you know, now that I'm doing this and talking about possibility of having a vent system up here for the exhaust of the barbecue, let's go ahead and just turn this one off for a second and look at let's see here, turn this off for a second and then look at the possibility of moving this back that 5 feet 5 inches, and we'll duplicate this and go ahead with a, let's go with 11 feet here. And then you can see something like this as well would work out for that bar stool, or excuse me, the kitchenette area. Again, I'd probably go with the lower BTU output or intensity unit, just because of the fact that you're standing over here, you're not sitting. But the intensity is a little bit, you know, further away from the space itself, so that might be 6,000 watt unit might be adequate for that space. However, again, you might want a control system because of the intensity again. So, and control systems gives you, you know, a lot of flexibility when it comes to cooler times versus really cold times. So the control systems work really well for applications like this, where there's a lot of adjustability that might be required. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plans, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please tap that like button. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote us in any way, and viewers don't find us unless we receive thumbs ups from you, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you. Have an excellent day.